The idea of inclusion is that you're side by side with your peers, right? That you're not down the hallway in a separate classroom, you're not in a different facility, right? That you're learning alongside your peers and that they're able to learn from you and that you're able to learn from them. Rising Together Alliance is really set out to try to ensure that kids with special needs and an intellectual disability have a path to go to school at their local parish.
When my son Michael was born, he's now 18, when he was first born, the question I had for my husband that night was, do we move all of our children from the Catholic school? And my husband said no. You know, we were living in Connecticut at the time, 800 miles from family. Our school was our community. When we moved here, there was no support for it within the Archdiocese. If I wanted them included to the benefit of everybody, there was no money. I just wanted others to be able to choose this.
When my husband and I found out that we were expecting Abby, we had had some blood work tests done, and we found out that she was very likely to have Down syndrome when she was born. Not long after she was born, I did start to think, where will she go to school? I started reaching out to people that I had met through the Down syndrome community, and many of them said, you know, Vicki, I don't think our Catholic schools are set up to take kids like ours. And that made me sad. I've always wanted, right, my kids to have the experience that I had growing up in the Catholic school world. And so I started reaching out, you know, on some of the Facebook groups within the Down syndrome community and was able to connect with other like-minded parents who thought, yeah, like what can we do to try to enable our schools to be able to accept kids with differences? The challenges I think that we have faced in making this happen are rooted in fear. And it's no different than, you know, when Dan and I found out that Abby had Down syndrome, it was a scary feeling. Growing up in the Catholic school system, we never went to school with a kid that had Down syndrome. We didn't know anyone personally. And I think that, you know, within our school systems, that can be a similar fear, right? Like our teachers and our principals, like they want to do the best for the kids, right? They want everything to go perfect. And I think that sometimes that idea of like, well, I don't have that special education degree, right? Or I've never worked with a kid with special needs before. It comes across as I don't want to mess things up. What we've tried to really change is that we can get people education, and that as a group, we have to understand not everything's going to be perfect. There are imperfections in life, and that's okay. You know, if something doesn't go well because we tried something, okay, we'll try something different tomorrow.
Inclusion provides an opportunity for hope for everybody. And just for example, Michael being on the wrestling team, to see that inclusion and the joy that the whole team has with him being there, it is such a source of hope to see students, right, just their peers, wanting them included, right, and wanting them at the events and involved in the activities. I mean, Michael's teammates, there's no way they wouldn't want him having a match.
I think Rising Together Alliance is probably one of the best ways we can have hope for the future. The things that I have seen Abby teach her peers, as well as the things that Abby's peers have taught her because they're growing up and learning side by side, have blown my mind. Her home is here in her home parish where her cousins are, where all of our best friends' kids are, where the kids on our street go, where she sees the kids that she sees in mass on the weekend in her classroom, right? Like that's where she belongs.
Just the fact that schools are saying yes and want to do it and they're proud to do it just makes me the happiest. Every time we have the opportunity to meet someone, right, who is different, you learn something about Jesus because we all reflect him. And I just think it's a gift, and those little changes that can be made to people's hearts and to help them be more aware and just more understanding, it's an opportunity for joy.